like. And I hear this from a lot of women too. Versus, for example, my brother, I feel like it's very easy for my brother to meet women that he likes, whether it's on the apps or just out at bars. My brother is in the top 5% of men. He's tall, he's attractive, he's athletic, he works in finance, he's funny, he's sweet, good family. Whereas for like a beautiful, well-rounded woman, it's just not that easy. Like there's not many great options of men. Just really seems like there's some disparity of like there being a lot of really great available women and there's just really not many great available men. I don't know particularly why, but I'm not interested in hearing men in the comments. I will say that right now because men love to like comment some weird shit every single time. It
So I think this is a great example of why we don't have any real solutions in this sort of dating game. That very last part where she's like, yeah, I don't really care to hear from men. If this is a topic concerning men, we should be having the conversation together about why you can't seem to find good men. But when you hear that or you hear that pushback, you don't want to hear it. But mainly the issue here is there's seems to be very, stringent qualifications of what it means to be a good man. You have a jump through a laundry list of things to be considered good. Things that sometimes are outside of your control, your height, right? The family that you're actually born into. Stuff like finances is better in your control, but depending on where you were born, your socioeconomic outlook is largely determined where you're born. So, but for women to be considered good women, I've never seen a stringent, hard, multifaceted rule base that determines and says, yes, this is a good woman. When women get to rate other women as good, as great, there's no other thing, there's no other pushback, there's no other thing that says, hey, wait, maybe you're not that, you don't actually qualify for that. Men are held to a very stringent set of rules while women get to be sort of great. So, guys, before we continue to do a deeper dive into this, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss new uploads. And yeah, the Sticky series continues, and we're trying to get through a couple more videos today before the voice conks out, and I just have a coughing fit before I go to bed. Let's get into this.
really is so hard to meet a man that you really like. And I hear this from a lot of women too. Versus, for example, my brother, I feel like it's very easy for my brother to meet women that he likes, whether it's on the apps or just out at bars.
I would say, to be fair, I really wish you would have that conversation with your brother and say, is it easy to find women you're attracted to rather than women that you actually like? There is a big difference, especially as the older we get, the more experience we get. And I was just having this conversation a few hours ago. It becomes harder for us to have that excitement, that spark of chemistry, of longing, of desire, because life be lifing. But finding women that you find attractive, well, that's easy. That's easy. And I would posit that a conflation of the two are being made here, where yes, there's plenty of attractive people, there's plenty of attractive women. That's probably the easiest part of the game. You know, a quick toss of the genetic lottery, and even if you fall flat on that, there's makeup, there's surgeries, there's easy ways to make you attractive. But I will say this is very difficult for men to find women that they like, women that they want to be around, women they want to spend time with. It's not as simple as just saying, well, I know a great, all my friends are great. And I see this constantly on these apps, on social media, where women are saying, my friends, they're great women. They blah, blah, blah. Here's the reasons why they're great. Never any real category. Well, yeah, men determine that these women are great. If they were so great, they wouldn't be available. Right? If they were to that degree of greatness, they wouldn't be available. If men saw women the same way women rate themselves, they wouldn't be available. But it's a very different category. And the reason when you don't take the time to look and say, how do men think or feel about this? Sometimes you don't even have to ask them. You watch what they're choosing. And if what they're choosing is something completely different than what you believe to be the cream of the crop, the apex, the best of the best women, then that data shows that, yeah, maybe they're not. Maybe they look good on the outside, but interpersonally, things sort of fall apart. And that's a very real thing. We are very good at getting into relationships. We're poor at winning them, maintaining them. but then we get very good again at exiting. We've mastered the ends of things, but not the middle part that's probably arguably the most important. The thing that's going to get you from the start to the finish line together, we're bad at that. So, one thing that doesn't help is when we automatically have this assumption that women are better, that they're great without any type of, maybe we should do away with the idea, the notion of like, the high value this or high value that, and just say, are you good for X person? Rather than thinking it's just so much easier for men to find great women because great women are just everywhere. There are plenty. If you ask a man, and this is the other part of the story, the other part of the video where you're saying you're not interested in see what men have to say. So do you really want a solution to this, or this is just another post to talk about how men are bad, how there's a dirge of good men, and that there's so many other great women about there? Even if we take that to be true, right? Let's run with that. Let's say that's fine. We agree with the premise. There are few good men, right? Like the movie. There are few good men. And what does that mean? Of the few good men, like her brother, like she says, women are going to have to compete if they're interested in men. If they're interested in good men, they're going to have to compete for that man. But, social media does a great job of revealing the truth, right? Say like the T app, and women are fighting over the dregs of men, right? Things that you wouldn't want to be seen with in the daytime. You seem to have multiple posts about are we dating the same guy? So, one, we should be realistic and say what is attractive to one person may not be attractive to other. What is high value to one person may be different from other. And I get the standard. I believe in the standard, right? I think the standards are set by the opposite sex. Men are considered high value because women are saying these are the things that are important that they're looking for. Conversely, maybe men need to be a little more vocal about what it is and start categorizing women. But I'm afraid of walking down that path because it hasn't done women any justice. It hasn't done them any, hasn't made dating any easier for them. So I don't ever want to go into that tit for tat. Well, it's hard for men too. It's hard for women. I don't think that moves the needle in any real type of conversation. The fact is, dating is difficult. Dating's a risk. You have to be vulnerable when you do it. For some people, it's going to be easier than others. For women, especially as they get older, things become harder. But do men automatically find like they're full, of great women around them? Men haven't really reported that. They haven't really said, no, I'm surrounded by so many candidates, so many great women that I don't know what to do, so I don't do anything. I haven't found a post, I haven't been part of a conversation that espouses anything like that. Men are saying the same thing, just quieter, just like we've always had. We've never been the more vocal of the species that, especially on social media. Men are saying, yeah, it's difficult for them to find a good woman in the right time. You can find a great woman and she's learned those lessons and she's 50, 3, 4 kids. Found a good woman, found a great woman, but not the right time. Men are seeing those things, but I think when we get down to that nitty gritty and that get that transactional tit for tat, we all kind of end up losing. That's what I'm thinking. And if you agree, let me know. Check out some of the videos that should be down on your screen right now. And let me know what you think of those too. I'll see you in the next one.